Did you know that a tiger can cost up to $50,000 to purchase? That's just the beginning of the expenses involved in owning a pet tiger. Owning a tiger might seem like a luxurious and exotic idea, but have you ever considered the true cost? Although we strongly don't support the idea, in this video, we'll explore the financial and ethical implications of owning a pet tiger and reveal the surprising answer to the question, can you afford it? The cost of buying a pet tiger. Meet John, a wealthy businessman who recently bought a pet tiger. John had always been fascinated by tigers and had the means to afford one. However, buying a tiger was not a decision he took lightly. He had to do extensive research on the legalities of owning a pet tiger and the associated costs. In the United States, owning a tiger is legal in some states, but requires a special permit and license. The process of obtaining a permit and license can be lengthy and expensive, with fees ranging from a few $100s to several $1,000s. The initial cost of buying a tiger can also be steep, with prices ranging from $10,000 to $50,000 depending on the tiger's age, breed, and gender. But the expenses don't stop there. Tigers require specialized care and attention, which can add up quickly. To get a better idea of the true cost of owning a pet tiger, we spoke with Dr. Sarah, a veterinarian who specializes in exotic animals. According to Dr. Sarah, the cost of feeding a tiger alone can be upwards of $10,000 per year. Moreover, the cost of building and maintaining a proper enclosure for the tiger can range from $5,000 to $20,000 depending on the size and quality of the enclosure. In addition to the initial costs, there are also ongoing expenses such as veterinary care, which can be costly for exotic animals. According to Dr. Sarah, routine checkups and vaccinations alone can cost several $1,000s per year. In the case of an emergency, medical care for a tiger can quickly escalate into tens of thousands of dollars. So, what is the true cost of owning a pet tiger? Based on John's experience and expert insights, the total cost of owning a tiger can range from $50,000 to $100,000 per year. This is not a decision to be taken lightly and should only be considered by individuals with the means to afford it and the willingness to provide the necessary care and attention to the animal. The hidden costs of owning a pet tiger. Owning a pet tiger may seem like a dream come true for some, but the hidden costs can be daunting. In addition to the initial purchase price and ongoing expenses, there are additional costs associated with owning a tiger that are often overlooked. One of the most significant hidden costs is obtaining the proper permits and licenses. As we mentioned earlier, owning a tiger requires a special permit and license. The process of obtaining these can be expensive, time-consuming, and in some cases, impossible. Additionally, many insurance companies will not cover the liability associated with owning a tiger, which means that you may have to purchase specialized insurance that can be costly. The hidden costs of owning a tiger go beyond financial matters. There are also ethical considerations to take into account. Tigers are wild animals, and owning one as a pet can pose a significant danger to other people and animals. In fact, many people have been seriously injured or killed by pet tigers, and the consequences can be severe for the owners as well. There have been cases of individuals being fined, imprisoned, or losing their tiger for illegally owning one. To gain further insight into the ethical considerations of owning a pet tiger, we spoke with Dr. Jane, an animal behaviorist. According to Dr. Jane, tigers are apex predators and require a specific type of environment to thrive. Owning a tiger as a pet can lead to significant behavioral problems, including aggression and territorial behavior. Dr. Jane emphasizes that tigers belong in the wild or in accredited zoos where they can receive proper care and attention. So, what are the consequences of owning a pet tiger? Based on John's experience and expert insights, owning a pet tiger can lead to significant financial and ethical costs. In addition to the financial burden of owning a tiger, there is also the potential for legal consequences and significant danger to both the owner and others. It's important to consider all of these factors before making the decision to own a pet tiger. Can you afford to own a pet tiger? It's time to ask the question, can you afford it? Let's break down the costs we've discussed earlier and provide a total estimated cost of owning a pet tiger. Based on John's experience and expert insights, the initial cost of purchasing a pet tiger can range from $5,000 to $50,000, depending on the source and breed. On top of that, the annual costs of caring for a tiger can add up to $10,000 or more, including food, shelter, veterinary care, permits, and insurance. When you factor in the potential legal consequences and ethical considerations of owning a pet tiger, the true cost can be far higher. Considering the high cost and potential dangers of owning a pet tiger, it's essential to consider alternatives. One option is to visit a wildlife sanctuary, where you can see tigers and other exotic animals in a safe and responsible environment. Another option is to support conservation efforts, which can help protect wild tigers and their habitats. So, what happened to John and his pet tiger? After the initial excitement wore off, John began to realize the true cost and consequences of owning a tiger. He struggled to afford the expenses, and his tiger exhibited aggressive and territorial behavior, leading to dangerous situations for both John and the tiger. In the end, John had to give up his pet tiger, and he regrets the decision to this day. We encourage viewers to think twice before considering owning a pet tiger. The cost, legal consequences, and ethical considerations are significant and should not be taken lightly. Based on John's experience and expert insights, owning a pet tiger is not a viable or responsible option for most people. Let's learn from John's mistake and prioritize the safety and well-being of tigers and other exotic animals. So far we explored the true cost and consequences of owning a pet tiger. We learned that purchasing a tiger can cost tens of thousands of dollars, with additional expenses for food, shelter, veterinary care, permits, and insurance. We also discussed the legal and ethical considerations of owning a pet tiger and the potential dangers it poses to both people and animals. Now, it's time to reveal the answer to the question that's been on our minds throughout the video: was John able to afford owning a pet tiger? The answer is no. Despite his initial excitement, John struggled to afford the expenses and had to give up his tiger in the end. His experience serves as a cautionary tale for anyone considering owning a pet tiger or any other exotic animal. We encourage viewers to support wildlife conservation efforts and learn more about responsible pet ownership. Visiting a wildlife sanctuary or supporting conservation organizations can provide an opportunity to appreciate tigers and other exotic animals in a safe and responsible way. By educating ourselves and taking action, we can help protect the future of tigers and other endangered species. Thanks for watching, we'll see you on the next one.